It's about a shared responsibility of the providers of gambling and the consumers of gambling, to the extent that there's a fair amount of weight of regulation when it comes to those providing gambling to make sure that they are doing so in a positive, legal way to try and minimise the opportunity for misuse and abuse of gambling products. On the other hand, for the consumer of the gambling product, it's important that they use those products in a responsible recreational type way, as an enjoyment rather than possibly an opportunity for harm to themselves or others.
Look, I think the Premier said that gambling in Victoria provides a lot of employment, but at the same time there are folks that struggle with the whole gambling concept, and that's a health issue. The thing I like about this particular foundation is that it's now focusing on that problem gambling as a health issue, and this whole program I fully support, and hopefully we can get some action within the problem gaming area.
Well, I think what people need to know that gambling problems can happen to anybody at any time and to people from all walks of life. So really the message we're sending out is that we want the whole community to start talking about and supporting people with gambling problems, because our challenge is that less than 10% of people with gambling problems actually seek professional help. So we know that early intervention is critical to minimise the impact. So if these people aren't seeking help, then the likelihood is that their lives will increase in devastation.
Many of us have issues in our lives, but many of us can't deal with them on our own, and therefore you've got to reach out for professional help. And what the foundation is now doing through this campaign is leading people who have a gaming issue towards positive, practical help. And that's a wonderful start.
I think they need to learn a lot about the product, about the potential harm that it can cause. They need to know the decisions that they make in regards to their gambling behaviour determines if it's a social pastime or can become an addiction. So the first time they spend too much money, the first time they spend too much time, more time than they initially wanted, they're all indicators that you're on the wrong track. And I think that's a message that people need to learn, and they need to learn that the products are designed to take their money, and therefore I think the knowledge will make them more equipped to not fall into the trap.
Well, gambling in Australia does have a really long history of being an entertainment activity, and it is very popular, but it is important to be aware that it is an adult activity and there are risks involved. So like any other consumer product, it's really important to only spend what you can afford on the product and ensure that it's still enjoyable for you.
I think people need to start to realise how much of an effect it has, not only on the individual but everybody else that's involved with that person. So the family, the friends. A lot of people blame the individuals, saying things like, they can't stop gambling, they should just stop gambling. But I think that we need to start to become aware that there is so much access to gambling that it's quite difficult for the person to control it.
They need to know that it's a product that carries a risk, just like drinking alcohol or smoking. Unlike perhaps tobacco, it has more like alcohol, it can have a plus side to it, and a lot of people get satisfaction and enjoyment from it, but it also has that risk. And so knowing that, and also knowing that some forms of gambling are more likely to harm you than others, and being able to identify some of the sort of early warning signs in yourself and friends and people around you, I think that's really, really important for education programs.
I think it's really important to know that that gambling certainly is around everywhere in our lives, but to do it responsibly, and particularly the harm that's associated with those that gamble excessively and get addicted. It's like any addiction, and I think that it's probably something that's floated under the radar for many, many years, and that's the important element of the foundation, is to create awareness and take away the stigma from those that actually suffer from problem gambling.